All right, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order then at 6 o'clock. Did anybody have any changes or corrections to the minutes from the meeting on 3/23?
No.
How about I make a motion to accept them as printed?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying yea.
Yay.
Motion carries. Meeting's approved. Minutes approved. Need a recommendation for the township for our application that we just interviewed.
I move that we recommend to the township that they hire the candidate.
I'll second that recommendation.
Do we need to specify?
Roll call by vote.
Salary. So what we've currently got in place based on the most recent updated compensation proposal was because this candidate is an advanced EMT, but not yet Fire 1 and Fire 2 certified, that she would be at 57,000 until she gets her Fire 1 and 2 certs, at which point she would be bumped up to 58,000.
So we don't need to address salary in the motion.
Not unless you would like to, but that, I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt to, but that would put her in line with the other qualifications with the other employees.
So that was derived from when we hired Kylie full-time. She was advanced, but not firefighter 1 and 2. And so you guys chose to make her $1,000 a year
Less.
less than the two that were basic EMT and firefighter 1 and 2. And so we left her at $1,000 less until they get that Fire 1 and 2 cert, and then they would be on par across the board.
Past practices are something to stay with. Exactly. Yep, very good. All right, I'll go ahead and call for a roll call vote. Judy Fisher, how do you vote?
Yes.
Steve Barber,
Yes.
Kathy Welch,
Yes.
Steve Davenport, and myself, yes.
Who was the second on that, did you say?
I second it, yes.
Thank you.
To roll call.
Trustee update.
I think you might have just wanted to for this purpose. Oh, sorry.
Yes, okay.
I did give you guys each a printout of, again, where we're at in terms of collections. At this point, I'm just sort of throwing some different reports out there to see if we can settle on one that we like. Because there are so very many to choose from. If we still can't come to one that we all like, then I will go directly to EMSMC to see if something specific can be created. So this one just shows where our current charges are, what is 31 to 60 days out, 61 to 90, 91 to 120, 121 to 180, and then the over 180 is when they start reaching out for collections. And referring them on to collections. So the total outstanding at the moment is $75,837.77, but not all of that is past due at this point. That's just a total overall. But it breaks it down by the different payers. The Medicare Advantage, Medicaid, Medicare, insurance, which would be group insurance plans, Medicaid MCOs, and then what are patient charges.
I like this format. Very easy to read.
Okay.
I like it also.
So is the current year-to-date for this year?
Yes.
And then the rest of them are all,
The rest are charges that are older than
Okay.
a month old. The current is, and I did run this, I think a week and a half ago, so the numbers are actually a little bit different now. But the current charges are within the last month,
Very nice.
so,
I think we can stay with this one.
okay,
Very user friendly
thank you.
for us. Probably not for you, but very easy for us to understand.
Okay. All right, I don't know if we need to bring up the phones in this meeting, but we will. So the fire department in the last, it's been what, 3 months maybe? Their Brightspeed landline has gone down twice now. So
And
the
for an
town,
extended period of
Yeah.
time, not just for half a day.
yeah, the township phone has not been impacted by this. So who knows why that is? We're in the same building. But our phone has been fine. However, because of the repeated issues, we were exploring what our options are for phone service. And if we're going to change the fire departments, then we might as well look at changing the townships as well. So this will come up in the township meeting as well. T-Mobile does offer a first responder program.
Municipal,
For government entities, where we would have priority on the line, on the towers if something major were to happen, so that we're still able to communicate with the public. That would provide us with 2 free phones, because we figure 1 phone for the fire department more than likely is enough, you'd think?
yeah.
Okay, and then 1 for the township. That essentially, if we eliminate the landline, then the trustee would just carry the cell phone. And the monthly cost on that, I believe, let me look it back up. Would be $39.50 per month per line. We are presently paying $150 a month,
How much?
$150 for the 2 lines.
So here's my question, you'll port the number,
Yes, that is we told T-Mobile that we would want to be able to port the
what
numbers.
about, and I guess, does anybody use phone directories anymore?
I don't think so,
Okay, so I don't know.
yeah, but
As
if
long as
we're
the
able to,
numbers appear
yeah,
someplace.
if we're able to port the number, and the number would be, even if we couldn't, it would be updated online, it would be updated at the county level and at the state level, so, and I would make sure that I figure out how I can get it updated on Google, so that when somebody's searching for the information, that it's available for them.
And one of the things I liked about that idea is we've talked about like a Ring camera at the door, because we leave our doors locked. But if the crew is here during the day and they're carrying the department's phone, if we had a Ring camera that was like at whatever we're gonna designate our front door, whether it be a delivery or somebody that's having a medical emergency that pulls up, then that would be a way to notify them. If they're upstairs working, if they're in an office, if they're out cleaning an ambulance, they would know that somebody was at that door. So, because we've had that instance a few times, we've missed some deliveries and some things have happened that, and no fault of anybody's, it's just we don't have a doorbell, and we've looked at some of those options to go to one of the radio companies that does that sort of thing. Gets really expensive, to where a Zoom camera is pretty inexpensive and pretty easy to set up. We have Wi-Fi here, so.
Does anybody have reservations in particular about it? No?
Anytime you're saving money and you're getting better service, it's a no-brainer.
So
You need a motion?
my phone has been out at home for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And they promised to come out, and then they said, well, it's just a general outage, they weren't gonna come out. But yet it's still disconnected, and they promised to come out probably 6 days ago.
Yeah.
And when you call them, they forward you to a retailer who tries to sell you
Something,
a service.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's,
yeah, my biggest fear is how complicated is it gonna be just to get it canceled? Are they gonna make that a logistical nightmare?
No.
so I
No,
canceled,
they do.
okay,
I canceled mine today.
Yeah.
And the company that I went with contacted them, and they says it's all done.
Huh.
By midnight tonight, they'll be switched over, and,
Alright.
so, no, we'll see if that happens, but
I don't know if we need a motion on it, as long as everybody's in agreement that
I
that
think with
seems like
you've
an.
got utilities in your budget, so.
Yeah.
That should cover that.
You know, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Trouble is I had with them.
Then, let me see, I'll let you bring up the tires.
Yeah, and then the insurance stuff.
Okay, so the insurance, all of the discussion around short-term disability and exploring the option for a life pack and all of that. Turns out we have it.
Right.
We do have it.
Yeah, great.
So it's a $150,000 life benefit for volunteers, as well as career personnel. The life portion, though, is specific to dying as a result of the job. It would cover disability up to $600 per week, for up to 5 years based on an accident. If it's because of an illness that is a result of the job, then it would actually pay up to age 67. Let me see, what else?
HIV.
Yeah, there is an HIV payment of $150,000 benefit, and since we had a blood exposure last year.
Right.
So, hey, that's really great that that's wrapped up in the policy as well. There are some other benefits, bereavement pay, spousal pay, things like that, if something were to happen to one of the firefighters. I did ask for the insurance company to still pull together a quote for the full-time employees for a life insurance policy that would carry them anywhere versus just if they die on the job, because traditionally employer coverage is it's a life insurance policy, not a life insurance policy if you die at work.
Right.
So just so that way we could see what that would look like, and I asked them to quote at $50,000 and $100,000 with the ability for the employee to buy that up if they would like to purchase more. So waiting on that, haven't gotten that yet.
Okay.
So just to make sure I heard you correctly,
Yes.
we already have coverage.
We have a disability-ish policy
Okay.
that covers that, as well as accident benefits and life.
That's super.
Yes.
But it's only a disability
On the job.
on the
On the
job.
job.
Right.
Correct.
So,
It is disability on the job.
And as OSHA says, disability on the job is if you're reporting to.
yes, she did say that the guy
Yes,
said
you're
travel
even traveling to and from work.
was
Yep.
included.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right. Are you good then?
I'm good too.
Um,
Good with the order from the fire department.
The only thing I have is a set of tires for the back of the newest brush truck, Brush 5. They're oversized tires and they've got a lot of grip on them for brush fires. They're about $700 a piece. One of them has a hole in it and is flat. We found it, discovered it Monday or Tuesday? Monday. And we found some tires, they're about $700 a piece. Well, if you do one, you have to pretty much do them both because of the locking differential. So there's about $1,500 Bremen Ford will have in those for us. I did order them, they're supposed to be here the end of this week, if not the very beginning of next week. So just kind of an update.
So did you buy road hazard with those?
Doubt it. I don't know.
You might see if you can.
We can try it.
I mean, for what you do with that vehicle and where it goes, because you're still probably 3/4 of the tread left on them.
I was gonna say closer to half, but it's possible, it's possible.
But the where it goes, does a road hazard like only
I don't-
cover, I was gonna say, like if you're driving it out into a field,
Prove
then
where it
road.
I'll inquire,
Yeah.
see what they say about it.
Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's the only thing I have. Everything else has been fun.
Very good.
Gas card?
Public comment, you're limited to 2 minutes. Okay. I make a motion to adjourn.
Fire next meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Do what?
Date for our next meeting?
May 18th, right?
Yep,
Yes.
that's right.
Kathy's got the list. May 18th.
Thank you. I'll second the motion.
No discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Yay.
Meeting adjourned at 6:15.
6:15.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
You are so welcome, sir.